Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Saturday. I am so happy to have you here today for this wonderful, fabulous collaboration video that I am doing with my friend Pen from over at Pen's Miss Skincare. Those of you who are not new to my channel probably already know all about Pen. She is a fellow YouTuber friend who I met through YouTube. We are lucky enough to live in the exact same part of beautiful Oregon. So we have met up multiple times and had coffee and chatted. I've also actually been to Pen's office. She, as you guys may be aware of, is a master esthetician. She has actually treated my face. She actually helped me get rid of my sebaceous hyperplasia on my face, which honestly to this day I cannot thank her enough for. She is amazing at her job. She has one of the most informative skincare related YouTube channels that I watch. She's incredibly knowledgeable. She is personable, and I can just tell you from actually knowing her outside of YouTube that she is one of the most genuine, lovely human beings that you could ever possibly meet. So all that being said, if you are never lucky enough to get to meet Pen in person, definitely go get to know her through her YouTube channel, because I know that she will be a wealth of knowledge for you, and I know that you are going to enjoy her content immensely. So I will put the links for Penny's channel as well as our collab here, the link to her specific video down below in the description box. So make sure that you expand that box and that will take you right to where you can find Pen's channel, so that you can also subscribe to her. So we decided to go ahead and partner on another video. We have done a couple this year where we are sharing some specific skincare products or just suggestions in general. And what makes our video collaborations very unique is that Pen has a completely different skin type from my own. She has a much more dry skin type, whereas I have a very oily skin type. So we are at opposite ends of the spectrum. So between the two of our videos here, you are going to be able to find some amazing sunscreen suggestions that are perfectly suited to your skin type. A lot of the suggestions that I have here today could certainly be used on a drier skin type as well. And if I think they would work on a dry skin type, I will definitely mention that as well. But really, I am giving you the suggestions from the standpoint of being a 41-year-old woman with the oil production of like a 17-year-old boy. I don't know where all of this oil is coming from, but here it is. It is on my face. If you could harvest what my face produces in an average week, I'm sure you could power a small country. So if you are a fellow oily girl like me, you know that it's super, super frustrating to try to find a sunscreen that works and that doesn't make you even more oily by the end of the day. So my suggestions here are geared towards that. Pen's suggestions will be geared towards those of you who maybe have a drier, more sensitive skin type. Maybe you struggle in that department. So there are so many suggestions between the two of our videos here, and I hope that you will stay tuned and watch both videos, regardless of your skin type, because I think you're going to see a little bit of overlap potentially. We did not tell each other what we were going to be choosing as our products go. So it'll be a surprise to see what Pen picks. Sunscreen, as you know, is incredibly important. You should be wearing it 365 days a year. You can use all of the expensive or inexpensive skincare that you want. All the lotions and potions, all of the in-office treatments, all of the devices that you spend money on, none of that stuff is really going to truly do any good for your skin if you are not willing to protect your skin after you invest all of this money into the products to fix whatever issue you're dealing with, whether it's hyperpigmentation, whether it's enlarged pores, whether you deal with acne. You have to protect your skin from the sun. There's obviously protecting that financial investment, but more importantly, it's protecting your health. Skin cancer is a real thing, and it's a real nightmare to deal with. There is a history of skin cancer in my family, and unfortunately I made some poor decisions when it came to tanning beds and laying on trampolines with baby oil covering my entire body in my youth. So I always have that fear. I also recommend going and getting yearly mole checks, which mine is actually coming up this next Tuesday. So fingers crossed that things are still good, but you have to protect your skin from the sun. Not only is it going to protect your skincare investments that you're making, but it's going to potentially save your life. So please protect your entire body. These products today that I'm suggesting are specifically for the face. I will do another video probably later on this month talking about the best sunscreens that I've personally found for the body as well. So do stay tuned for that. Let's get into it. I have a lot of suggestions for you guys today. I mean, my hands are full of products here and I'm not even holding half of them up. So I also have a few suggestions for some touch-up products as well, because here's the thing. When you are out and about, especially if you are out for a number of hours in the sun, you do need to reapply or touch up your sunscreen. And there are ways to do that without necessarily taking everything off and reapplying. So I'm gonna show you some of my favorite suggestions for that as well. I'm gonna get started with one of my holy grail. By the way, you are getting a little mix here of, so here's the thing. I personally prefer mineral sunscreens over chemical sunscreens, but I don't purposely avoid chemical sunscreens. I think whatever it's going to take to protect your skin, you need to do. Sometimes you need to play a little bit with the formulas to find the right fit for you, obviously. But bottom line, whether you use a physical or a chemical sunscreen, just be consistent with it. Most of what you're seeing here, they are going to be physical, such as titanium dioxide, zinc oxide. That's just what I tend to gravitate towards. But pick your poison, I guess. Whatever works for you, that's what you need to use. Okay, my holy grail, the sunscreen that you hear me talk about the most on my channel, is the Paula's Choice Resist Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense SPF 30. This is not only an SPF, but it's also a moisturizer. So this has some really great skincare ingredients within the formulation. In addition to that, zinc, this one has zinc oxide. So a physical sunscreen. This has antioxidants in it as well as resveratrol. So you are getting some good skincare ingredients on top of that protection. This one has a lovely tint, which is fantastic because you are not going to get any flashback from the camera if you are taking pictures. But please do not pick your SPF just based on whether there's flashback or anything like that. Pick your SPF because it works for your skin type, because it, I guess, plays well with your makeup if you wear makeup on a daily basis. Don't necessarily worry about the picture part of it. If you can find one that works well with that, such as this, great. But most importantly, make sure that you pick your sunscreen because it's going to protect your skin. This one is amazing. This works incredibly well with my oily skin. It's the one that I talk about the most because I've used it the most consistently over the last, 5 years. I love it. It's not one that I will ever not have in my skincare sunscreen collection. It's just one of the best. By the way, all of the products will also be linked down below in the description box for you. If I have any discount codes to pass along, those will be down there as well. So that is going to make some of these products even more affordable. Most of them are going to be in the $20 to $30 range. I do have a couple of drugstore options in here because I know some of you really prefer that, but I also have one or two kind of higher end products as well. So those of you that don't mind splurging on skincare and sunscreen can take a look at those options as well. Okay, so definitely a holy grail. I will never be without this. Another really great option, although I do prefer this one for my neck and my chest a little bit more than my face, is the Ren Clean Screen Mineral SPF 30. This is a mattifying sunscreen, so again, great for those of you with oily skin. Now this one is very white. If you are worried about a white cast on your skin, this may not be the best option for you. It certainly has, it has that classic white sunscreen that you really do have to kind of work into the skin, but not bad. Just, I think I prefer this formula, just the way that it feels a little bit more on my neck and my chest, but it does work for my oily skin. This one has, is it zinc? Yes, 22% zinc oxide in this one. By the way, all of my suggestions come from cruelty-free skincare brands. I made that decision several years ago to purchase as much cruelty-free as I can. I don't necessarily look for products to be vegan. This one here is vegan, but for me, the most important part is that none of these are tested on animals. A lot of the sunscreens that you see at the drugstore from Neutrogena, Olay, I mean, there's a plethora to choose from that are definitely very affordable, but they're not from cruelty-free brands, and that's not something that I can personally support. So my suggestions here are from cruelty-free brands, and if you can switch out a non-cruelty-free product for a cruelty-free one, I think that is amazing. Whether you take that stance or not, I think if you can support cruelty-free, why not do it, right? So anyway, this one's great, also vegan. Okay, another great drugstore cruelty-free skincare option for you, and they have changed the packaging of this, so when I link this down below, it's going to look different, but it's the exact same formula. This is the Derma E Sun Defense Mineral Oil-Free Sunscreen, Broad Spectrum SPF 30. This also happens to have vitamin E as well as green tea in it. This is reef safe, so that is definitely something that is also important to me. This has a 20% zinc oxide in it. This one is another one that is white. It has, again, a slightly thicker consistency, but I do find that this one blends into the skin very easily. You can see it does leave just a little bit of a whiter look to my skin, but once it settles in, I don't notice that nearly as much. So there's that. Also, make sure you are applying enough SPF. You really kind of have to slather it on. You cannot have a thin amount that you are trying to rub into the skin. Really get that sunscreen on your face, get it on your ears, the back of your neck. Do not forget to protect any of those areas. So anyway, this one is a great option that is in right around the $20, $21 price point range. I love Derma E. I think they are one of the best cruelty-free drugstore skincare options out there. If you haven't looked into them, I highly suggest doing so. Here is another option. This one is a little bit more expensive. However, this is one that I love to wear during the summer when I am out in the sun working. For those of you that are new, my real life job, although it doesn't exist this summer because of everything that's happening. I'm a florist and I mostly do weddings, special events, and corporate events, none of which are happening this summer here in Oregon. So, but typically when I do, I work outside. We live in such a beautiful part of Oregon, and most of the brides during the summer months choose to get married outside because it's beautiful. I keep saying that, but I love Oregon. This is, I think, one of the most beautiful parts of the country, and I love doing wine country weddings, but the only thing about those weddings is I am outside for several hours, in direct sunlight and heat. So I really need an SPF that is going to stay put, that is going to work, and that has a higher SPF. So the Color Science Sun Forgettable Total Protection Face Shield SPF 50 is a really, really great option for me during the summer months specifically. This one does have just a tiny bit of a hint of a tint. I mean, a hint of a tint, but it's just enough to where it is going to not give you that white cast. This one absorbs beautifully into the skin, and like I said, it has the SPF of 50, which I really prefer. This one also stays really well when I am sweating, and I am a sweater in the summer months, so this one's fantastic. It is in the $50 price point range, so it's a little bit more expensive, but I don't purchase it year-round necessarily. It's specifically for the summer months, so this one is amazing. Also, I did want to mention this from Color Science. I do use every single day the Color Science Total Eye. You see a lot of YouTube beauty people talking about this product because it is honestly one of the best under eye SPFs that is out there. I use the original, which is just kind of this like universal tint. The wonderful thing about this product is actually that it does brighten my under eye area. It looks like it might be a little bit too dark, but once I work it into the skin, like it totally blends in perfectly. So I use this underneath my eye area every single day. I also use this on my lid. This provides me the SPF broad spectrum 35 in that delicate eye area. I certainly wear some huge bug eye sunglasses when I'm outside as well. So, but I feel like having that extra protection from a product that's specifically designed for around the eye area is very, very important. So this one, yes, a must-have for me. I've repurchased it multiple times because it is such a great product. Again, it's a spendy one, but I do find this one lasts a long time for me because you really don't need a ton of product for this kind of smaller area here. So this is fantastic. All right. I have also been testing some new products. Most of you are probably familiar with the ones that I just mentioned because I've talked about them a lot on my channel. However, I've been testing some new things, including this new drugstore skincare brand called Versed. They have an SPF that's called their Guards Up Daily Mineral Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 35. This is zinc oxide. Let me find the box. Yep. Zinc oxide, 15.2% here. This one is wonderful. It has, again, a little bit of a tint. I'm just going to show you guys here. And this has to be one of my new favorites that I have tried. This one, if you have oily skin, yes, it's amazing. This is amazing on my oily skin. This is amazing on my oily skin. These are really good on my oily skin, but these two right here, these make my makeup last all day long. And this one, I'm telling you, my oily girls out there, give this one a go. Versed is available at Target. However, they don't carry the Guards Up sunscreen at Target for whatever reason. Trust me. I've been to several Targets looking for it. I had to order it from their website, but it is well worth it. This has sea fennel and moringa seed extract in it as well. So lots of good ingredients in addition to the sun protection factor. I can use this on my face and my neck. By the way, all of these pair extremely well with my makeup. There's no pilling. There's nothing weird that happens with my powder foundation when I put it on over top of any of these. So know that these pair really well with makeup also. This one is particularly fantastic. It's wonderful. Really, really a great product from Versed. Definitely a skincare line that I'm interested in trying some more from. And I certainly have a plethora of products that I can choose from inside the Target store. Just not this particular one. You'll have to order this one from their website, but 100% worth it. Amazing. Love it. Okay. Dermatology. So I have used dermatology products in the past. At one point I received some PR products from them. I have not received any PR products from them in a while, but I decided to go ahead and test out their SPF. They have two different formulations. They have their broad spectrum SPF 45, and then they also have their tinted moisturizer SPF 46. I have this in the universal tint. I do have a discount code for this one. There's a couple of other ones that I think I have some discount codes for, so make sure you check out the description box down below. But I was very intrigued by these because these are very popular SPFs for a lot of like social media people. So I wanted to test them out and they are great. I have to admit that I think that I prefer the original broad spectrum SPF 45, which does not have a tint, but is a wonderful formula that works incredibly well for my oily skin. What I also like about the Dermatology is that this also has, besides the SPF, they also have a high purity niacinamide as well as hyaluronic acid, and they use a transparent zinc oxide in this particular formula. I will say, those of you that do not like chemical sunscreen, this does contain octinoxate in it as well. It has 7.5% octinoxate. I always struggle with that word. I don't know why that's a tongue twister for me. It is a chemical sunscreen, so just keep that in mind. However, it works extremely well for my oily skin. So this one here is amazing. I will hands down repurchase this one when I finish it because it's fantastic. I also really like the Universal Tint, the tinted moisturizer here. This one has a really nice tint to it. Again, it would look like it might be a little too dark for me, but once you blend it into the skin, it really does disappear. So if you typically prefer a tinted moisturizer to help with that flashback, if you are taking a lot of pictures most days, this one might really be worth looking into. This one here, they say that they also contain anti-aging ingredients in this formula. This also has the zinc oxide 12%, and it also has the octinoxate 7.5% in addition. So out of the two, I would say both are worth trying. I think that I definitely prefer this one over the tinted, but I could also see myself repurchasing this tinted as well in the future. So really, really great options there from Dermatology, and these are fairly inexpensive. So I want to say these are around $21, and then I do have a 25% off code that I will put in the description box down below. Let's talk about touching up your SPF. I feel like I've been talking for so long. I just have so much information to get out. Touching up your SPF is very, very important. Two great options for you, one drugstore, one higher end. Once again, the Color Science Sun Forgettable Broad Spectrum SPF 50. This is a brush-on sunscreen. This has titanium dioxide as well as zinc oxide in it. You can see it's one of these brush things here. So how this works is you like basically tap this out and then you brush it onto your, you can see that the SPF is floofing up there. This is very easy to take for on the go. Simple to pull that back up, put the cap on, and then you're good to go. I think they have different tints in this, but this is just like, this is their medium tint actually. So they do have different tints. The medium works really well for me, so I pop this in my purse. I do personally have to blot up some oil before going in with this because my skin gets somewhat oilier in the summer months, so I do have to blot first, but once I do, I can easily brush this, especially on the high points of my face, like the nose, the forehead, the chin, places like that, very important. Drugstore option for you, once again, Derma E offers their Sun Protection Mineral Powder SPF 30. This has, is it zinc oxide? Zinc and titanium dioxide, so great option here. Once again, you have the brush, you can see the product there. You basically just, this one, you can see that spilled out there. So you just brush this into your skin and you are going to sort of refresh your SPF a little bit. This is a much easier option for those of you that prefer a powder to top off with, because let's face it, washing your face and starting over like towards the middle or end part of the day that's not realistic for most of us, and it's also not realistic to apply more of your SPF over top of your makeup in its original format. So touching it up with these powders is a great option, as is using a spray SPF. So these are two of my favorite options for that. The Kate Somerville little bit more spendy here, but this one's fantastic. This is the SPF 50 Uncomplicated SPF. So this one does have the chemical sunscreens in it. So it has the avobenzone, the homosalate, the oxybenzone. So if you're not into chemical sunscreens, this one's not going to be for you. It does have a really nice mist format, so you basically just spray your face. I also spray this like on my ears, and when I've been out working at weddings, I've also sprayed this on my part when I've forgotten to bring my hat. So this one's great for that. If you prefer a zinc touch-up spray, this one's really great. This is the Seriously Fab Zinc Over It Fine and Sheer Sunscreen Facial Mist. This has a broad spectrum SPF 25. This one does, by the way, have a fragrance. I do think they have a fragrance-free option. This one is their Tropical Floral, but I can tell you, it's not crazy strong. You do want to shake this really well. You want to shake this one too. But make sure you shake this up really well. This has a non-nano zinc oxide. This is 5%. A great kind of touch-up option. This one I definitely need to reapply more frequently than the Kate Somerville, but this one also has a really nice pump on it, so you're not using that fine mist spray here. But yeah, this one's really great too. And again, this one does not have a chemical sunscreen component to it. So that's what I have for you guys today. This video is so long. I'm sorry that it took me so long to get through all these products. I just wanted to stress how extremely well these products work for my oily skin type. Please make sure you check out Penny's video after this one. All of the information for everything that I mentioned is down below in the description box. If there are any discount codes, any way to save money, that information will be down there. If you are here from Penny's channel, I hope that you will take the time to stick around and subscribe. I would love to have you here. If not, thank you anyway for watching today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.